We're here for the 2025 C2C ride recap. This is a roughly 40-mile ride from the north shore of Long Island to the south shore. We start in Sunken Meadow and end up in Heckscher State Park. We're up nice and early for a 7 a.m. ride start. Taking a little group photo on the boardwalk before we roll out into Sunken Meadow. And right off the bat, we're climbing into some of these trails. We started off pretty spicy. This was probably the most technical part of the whole ride, and did have me questioning my bike decision early on. This section was pretty sandy, and with all the fallen leaves mixed with the rain from the night before, it made traction very difficult. Another little road section to bridge the gap. Here we are jumping back into, this is Arthur Kunz Park. A little swamped out from the rain the night before. I got lost here for a sec, but found my way. Some of these sections were a little tough to stay on, but with all the leaves on the ground, it's sometimes hard to see the trail. So far, it's been pretty cool. There's a lot of mixed terrain, starting off with a lot of punchy, steep climbs, undulations, tight turns. That first section was definitely more appropriate to be on a mountain bike, hardtail or something. Me, on my gravel bike, it was doable, but had to take it a little slower, more carefully. Here we pop back out onto a little bit longer road section, but again, not very long. We're right back onto the trails.
Yeah, same.
Here we have a quick section cutting through Sweetbriar Nature Preserve. These wood ramps were a little rough in the current condition. You'll see right here, I got a little overconfident and paid the price.
Is this worth trying? Oh, fuck it, let's do it.
Went down, but did not get wet, so that's what matters. Did end up bending my rotor slightly. Here we finally linked back up with one of the organizers, Joe, and our group stuck together. There's 5 of us for basically the rest of the ride. Here we're back in some of the punchier short climbs. After that beginning section, we were able to finally start stacking on some of the miles. I feel like this section best represents the majority of the terrain. Little PTSD here from my previous fall. I was puckering a little bit. Minor mechanical here. Small puncture, just pump them back up. Yeah, lost the rear end there a little bit. Again, these the wet leaves and my tires. I was right on the edge. I would ride this again with my setup. I just would know a little bit better going in what I was expecting. Yeah, after all that rooty, bumpy off-road stuff, a little pavement, very smooth pavement was welcome. Hit our only refueling stop at mile 22. After 1 or 2 road miles, we were back into Lakeland County Park. Dipping under the train tracks. That is, I believe, the Ronkonkoma branch of the Long Island Railroad. Here we are in the longest road section of the whole ride. It was 7 miles. Luckily, we had a little bit of a tailwind. The bike lane is pretty ridiculous, but I mean, it's better than nothing. This section's at least a little bit better being separated. You have to go on this section of road around Connequot. They don't allow bikes in there. Here we are making our way underneath Sunrise Highway. This is the marker for basically the final stretch. We're about 31 of the 38.8 mile route done at this point. And here's me getting attacked for the second time by a thorn bush. And here are the last few miles. Pretty good way to finish it off. Honestly, the ride started with what I would say is probably the hardest part, and slowly got easier and easier as you approached the nice flat South Shore. Overall, it was an amazing ride. I'm really glad I did it. The beginning had me questioning my decision for a little bit. I'm on a Soma Fog Cutter, which is kind of a gravel bike. For the majority of it, it was more than enough. And again, I enjoyed myself. Weather was great. People were great. Glad I got to stick with one of the organizers because I didn't have to pay attention to my GPS that much. I kind of just followed Joe. He had a nice bright red jersey on, so it made things easy too. They've taken feedback each year and slowly refined their route. I want to say this was the 4th year, they said. And here we are back in Heckscher. Approaching the beach. Crazy mix of terrain in a good way. Just basically everything Long Island has to offer in one ride. Getting back out onto like a paved open bike lane actually was pretty terrible at this point. The wind had picked up. The forecast was saying the wind was going to get pretty bad by noon. I think it was about 12:30 at this point.
Wind's picking up, but I survived. Pulling into lot field 7 right now.
And we're out of here. Just want to say thank you to Joe, Mike, Tom, and Jackson for route planning and for putting this all together. See you next year.